someone who's not in Jamaica. I said, give me the ideal qualifications and experience for the executive head of a financial investigative unit that is a member of the Egmont Group. The response was that a candidate should reflect the strategic, legal, analytical, and diplomatic demands of leading a high-integrity institution charged with combating money laundering, terrorist financing, and other financial crimes. The candidate should meet international expectations for independence, competence, and credibility. With respect to academic and professional qualifications, a master's degree in law, finance, economics, criminology, accounting, public administration, or related fields was the minimum academic requirement. They then went on to say they would need specialized gathering with 5+ years.
My bad, y'all. Like up the live. I'm late. I'm sorry.
Of multidisciplinary and cross-border teams, overseeing complex case analysis, data management systems, and interagency coordination. In terms of financial crime investigation and analysis, they should have direct experience in conducting or supervising investigations into A, money laundering and related predicate offenses, B, terrorist financing, C, asset tracing and forfeiture, and D, knowledge of typologies, red flags, and financial flows relevant to organized crime, cyber-enabled crime, and corruption. In terms of legal and regulatory knowledge, familiarity with the FATF recommendations, Egmont Group standards, and domestic AML and CFT legal frameworks.
Like up the live.
And experience working with or within law enforcement, regulatory authorities, prosecutors, or financial supervisors. And then in terms of the international cooperation, they spoke to a track record of engagement with international counterparts, including FIUs, law enforcement, FATF-style regional bodies such as CFATF and the Egmont Group, and the ability to negotiate memoranda of understanding and lead international case collaboration. In terms of essential competencies, they highlighted the integrity and independence needed for the role, unimpeachable ethics, and capacity to lead an institution free from political interference, deep understanding of the secure handling of sensitive data, technological awareness, familiarity with financial intelligence systems, data analytics, and secure information exchange platforms, and so on. And then in terms of desirable attributes, not essential, but their prior role as a deputy director, a director of compliance, or a chief analyst within a national financial investigative unit. So in summary, what we see is that the executive head of an FIU in the Egmont Group must combine deep technical expertise in financial crime with leadership, discretion, and an international outlook. They serve not just as an investigator-in-chief, but as a guardian of financial transparency and impartiality, and a partner to global financial intelligence bodies. And I invite you to look at previous chief technical directors, persons like Selvin Hay, Justin Felice, Calvin Small, all very senior detectives with distinguished careers in criminal investigations and intelligence gathering, and specifically anti-corruption and financial crimes. Or alternatively, look at Robin Sykes, former senior counsel at BOJ, point person in interacting with the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, and someone with specialized expertise in anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing, and as well as financial regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, by comparison, Dennis Chung is a weak and unsuitable candidate for this post. And when you look at the January 2025 ad for this post, you will be surprised to see that it looks like a generic management or administrative post, rather than for someone who is a chief technical director in a financial investigative unit. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that they forget that there's a short person in the room, but that's fine too. So Dennis Chung was the General Secretary for the Jamaica Football Federation. And he has now left to be appointed as the chief person at the Financial Investigative Department. Now, I just want to ask you a simple question. In his capacity, acting in football, would he have agreed with a referee who has expressed a bias for a club cheering a game in which that club is playing? The answer is clearly no. And that is what we are seeing now, where Dennis Chung has made public pronouncements in support of the Prime Minister in his investigation. Even when you are sitting on a case as a judge, if you find that you have connections with the persons before you about whom you have to adjudicate, you are required to recuse yourself. And we are simply saying to Mr. Dennis Chung today, if you had not thought about it before, you need to think about it. You should refuse this appointment. This investigation into the Prime Minister, the allegation of illicit enrichment, is indeed the history of Jamaica. Have we had a Prime Minister under investigation for corruption? And today, I simply want to say this. Where are the honorable men and women in our country? Where are those men and women on whom this country has conferred national honors? Where are the professionals? Where's the private sector? Where are the church leaders? Because this will appear to you as though it is a narrow partisan political matter. It is not. It is about reaching for the very soul of our democracy. It is about the protection of our democratic institutions. Because when you corrupt an institution such as this, which as Julian and Peter have made clear, have an international reputation, when you do that, you're failing the nation and you are setting the tone for actions which undermine the institutions which must uphold our traditions and which must reflect who we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few years ago, this issue surrounding, and initially we were told that persons are unaware of the individuals who are under investigation. At a press conference that was held at Jamaica House, when a journalist put the question to the Prime Minister as to whether or not he is aware as to why he has not been certified he said he had no idea why, and he was anxious to be certified. When we eventually saw the report of the investigation into his affairs, we realized that at the time when he made that statement, it was not true, because prior to that, he was written to, and that they had a meeting with him at OPM and his lawyers and explained to him that there's a possibility that he has assets that are out of keeping with his lawful income, what we term illicit enrichment. We saw where the Prime Minister took the matter to court, and he was asking he was trying to mandate the courts to sign off on his report. We saw where Mr. Chung came out and gave his opinion on the matter. It's free to have an opinion on the matter, but by any means, by the acceptable standard as to what the average person would think, an individual that has already come to a conclusion on the matter, to be now placed in charge of the body to investigate the matter, is highly inappropriate. And anyone who cannot see that as inappropriate, then that begs a lot of questions. The gentleman in question also created a firestorm in Jamaica a few months ago when he said that Usain Bolt money did not get to SSL. And it is the same FIB that needs to look into the issues surrounding SSL. I, as a Jamaican and a well-thinking Jamaican, I am very concerned about the path that we are on as a country. I am a proud Jamaican, but I am ashamed of my government. I am ashamed of this JLP government because they are eroding what we have come to accept as Jamaica. They are destroying the institutions that give us a good, credible reputation internationally. Corruption is rampant. It is almost palpable in the society, and we will not accept it. The time has come. Enough is enough. The people of Jamaica need to be given an opportunity to decide if they want to continue with this level of corruption in high places, or if they want to return decency to Jamaica House. And as of such, we are giving this government 72 hours to rescind this appointment. And if they do not rescind it, there will be actions all over Jamaica. Thank you. The floor is open for your questions. I'm not going to tell you the action, so you can go to the previous slide. Okay, that's fine.
How far is the People's National Party prepared to go if the appointment is not rescinded? And is there a legal avenue that can be pursued?
In terms of a legal angle, that's something that we're considering. We haven't had time yet to definitively come to a position on that, but certainly it's something we're exploring. And in terms of actions on the ground, you will see in due course what we have in mind. If the government decides to pursue this, and continue on this path, which is essentially contaminating the Financial Investigations Division, which is the institution in Jamaica that is internationally the liaison when it comes to anti-money laundering, anti-terrorist financing, and fighting financial crimes generally. Mr. Chung has stated publicly positions on the matter, the most important matter that the FID will ever have had to investigate. Positions which have prejudged the matter and indicate that as far as he's concerned, there's nothing to investigate. It's all kosher. It's all above board. Somebody who has done that publicly cannot properly be appointed to run that agency tasked with investigating that matter. It would run a coach and horses through Jamaica's anti-corruption framework and undermine the rule of law and the reputation of our country. That's why we're taking it very seriously. And you'll be hearing more from us if the government doesn't do the right thing, or indeed if Dennis himself doesn't do the right thing and step away from this appointment.
We recognize Siobhan Campbell from Nationwide. Please unmute and go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Go, Siobhan. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. My question is to Mr. Golding. The appointment of Dennis Chung was done through the Office of the Services Commission, which is led by Mrs. Patricia Sinclair McCalla, along with Bishop the Honorable Harold Blair, Professor Denise Eldemeyer Shearer, and Miss Kadria Folks. These are the appointees to the Public Service Commission that you yourself signed off on just last year. Are you suggesting that these individuals did not take much of what you said into consideration and did not go down the right path when they selected Mr. Chung as their final appointment?
Thank you. I'm saying that, first of all, the ad which was developed was inappropriate in that it did not cover the critical elements of what the Chief Technical Director of Jamaica's FID ought to cover. The competencies and experience that are required for the job were not clearly enunciated in the ad that was formulated and published. And I think that they have gone down the wrong path and chosen somebody who is manifestly inappropriate for this position. I don't know on what basis they thought otherwise. I don't think that they sufficiently informed themselves as to what Mr. Chung had done and said in relation to this matter, because I cannot believe that had they been thorough in looking at this issue and seeing what his pronouncements had been publicly on the matter, that they would have recommended him.
We recognize Jeffrey Tavares from Equitalk Media. Please unmute and go ahead with your question. Tavares? Okay, we take.
Mr. Golding, I just wanted to go a little bit further with your response. The appointment was done by the Services Commission, and it was advertised and the process followed. What about it you would be taking issue with if there's given that you have said that you are reviewing some legal issues around it? What about it are you looking at from a legal standpoint?
As has been shown in relation to the drill, the $31.5 million drill, processes can be followed in a manner that achieves an anomalous and outrageous result. And if you look at the result and you move back from the result, you can see that the process was flawed. And as I said before, I cannot believe that they had before them the material that is generally known to anyone who follows these matters carefully, and yet still assume or make the recommendation of this individual for that task. So they have failed to take into account relevant factors in making their recommendation. And that can be a basis for legal challenge.
We have a follow-up from Siobhan Campbell from Nationwide. Go ahead, Siobhan.
Yes. Yes, again, this matter in relation to Mr. Chung's appointment, you and Mr. Bunting have pointed to his unsuitability for the role, and this is my words to suggest that it's tantamount to a corrupt act, his appointment. But was it not the previous PNP administration that appointed Mr. Chung as chairman of the NSWMA and credited him with the turnaround of that organization? Plus, Mr. Chung has several board appointments, both in the financial sector and elsewhere, which would have reached the standard you would expect of someone with enough ability and understanding of the financial matters in relation to the FID that the appointment could be considered kosher. And that question is directed to either you or Mr. Bunting, Mr. Golding.
Well, we can both have respond to it, but my response is this. Mr. Chung has experience and competencies in areas which would make him an appropriate choice for positions where he doesn't have a clear issue of bias and conflict of interest. And that's the crux of this matter. He has, by his public pronouncements, exhibited a strong position on this matter, which is in favor of the person who's under investigation. And he's now being appointed to lead the agency tasked with doing that investigation. That is absolutely untenable and wrong. And it is a corrupt outcome because it undermines the transparency and fairness of the process to have somebody who's leading the agency being somebody who has already indicated a position of bias in relation to the matter. His prior appointments in the private and public sector are irrelevant because these factors weren't at play. And therefore, I don't think that the question has any weight.
And if I could just add, you're really not comparing apples with apples. Someone who is chairing a board or is a director on a board, the requirements of their technical training is completely different from somebody who is the executive leader of an investigative agency. A board member just has to operate at the level of corporate governance principles, have a general understanding of management and corporate responsibilities, etc. The chief technical director of an investigative unit must come to the table with extensive experience in dealing with complex financial investigations, coordinating with international intelligence agencies, having some specialized training and experience in that area. This is not a board member who is going to sit at a governance level. This is the person that is going to day-to-day run the organization and supervise criminal investigations. If he had come from the DPP's department with specialized prosecutorial experience, that would have been something different. If he had come out of law enforcement, which is typically where someone like this would come from, and if not from law enforcement, then from a regulated financial regulation. If he had come from any of those areas with 10 years experience or 5 years leadership experience, then it would be completely different. To compare appointing someone as the chairman of the board of NSWMA is really ludicrous. And I'm actually disappointed that anybody would even suggest that that's a relevant comparison.
Mr. Moderator.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Campbell, we have 2 more questions, I'm being informed. Please go ahead. Unmute and go ahead with your question. Mr. Tavares.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My question is, Dr. Dayton Campbell said something a while ago that there will be, in my words, that there will, in other words, there will be pandemonium in Jamaica if he doesn't step down. What are you trying to say, sir? Will there be a demonstration put on by the People's National Party if he doesn't step down? That's the question.
Mr. Tavares, I do not have that word in my vocabulary. I said no such thing. The point I'm making, and I'm being very strident with the point that I'm making, is that We are taking back our country from the clutches of despair. We're taking back our country from those who have taken us down a path that we have become unrecognizable as to who we are, what we stand for, the value systems that we have. No time in the People's National Party could we have a leader of the party who is under investigation and continues to remain as the leader of the party. It could not happen. For you to have a prime minister that is seeking to strike down the very law that defines illicit enrichment, it could not happen, and it should not be happening in Jamaica. And then, if you did not hear what Donald Senator Scott Motley said, Mr. Chung is the General Secretary of Jamaica Football Federation. Just imagine that he's at a match in the Royal Box in his Jamaican colors. Seated beside him is somebody in red and black from Trinidad, cheering for Trinidad. And then after the first half has ended, and the person is there defending how well Trinidad is playing, the person takes off the Trinidad jersey and goes down the field to referee the match. Who would agree to that? Nobody would. We think that this is highly inappropriate. We will not stand for it. And if they do not act, we are going to act. And the people of this country, time has come for them to act. The Prime Minister is hiding and doing all sorts of other things. Might as well call the election and let the people decide if they want to continue with this level of corruption in high places.
We take the final question from Siobhan Campbell.
Yes, good afternoon again. This is not related directly to the matter, but I understand, and this is some news coming into me. Are you aware of a raid by the Revenue Protection Division at the 14th North Avenue building that houses the PNP Central Kingston constituency office, where approximately 20 boxes of bleaching cream were found? We are told that Mr. McGregor, your candidate, was present when the RPD visited and seized the items. Has he briefed the Secretariat or the leadership of the party?
I have no knowledge of that. If you do have knowledge of that, you need to share your information with the police. I find it very strange, the things that I see going around, the disinformation that I see going around, and some of it is coming even out of your own station. And I am very disappointed with it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us here today. This is a very important matter. I think it goes to the heart of the democracy of the country, of who we are as a people. We are a proud people, and we want to ensure that we can recognize our country, and we want to leave our country in a way that is better than we found it, that our children can live and grow and be prosperous. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Hey, on a year on nasty date, on Nationwide come in a while ago and ask a question about and I come through monkey range to chew off the conference. On a year them disgusting, last some more go on. Eh? On a year them disgusting. Nasty Nationwide. You hear the boy laugh off my mouth every time PNP have conference and come there. And I come ask something. Eh? Exactly. What about the gun them, the 220 gun plus so them finding a my man the constituency? This Mackenzie. Why I'm never asked about that? Why I'm never asked about that? Me not get to see all of this now, so I go over it now, all drunk, all germs. It burn me for them, man, them blatantly. I try to cover up the corruption. What do you mean? The man are germs, man. The man is a germs. This is the ever see one body and germs tonight. The body sick. These people are germs. Them is keeping Jamaica sick. Because them don't want to talk the truth. Or if you come ask question about bleach, we not talk about the 220 gun. But then find that Desmond Mackenzie constituency. Huh? And who own the place where them find the gun? One former MP allegedly. And which MP, which side him depend? Why them not come talk about that? All of the corruption linked to this political party is ridiculous. Remember when Desmond Mackenzie said, we will not allow Jamaica to be taken. I'm plan to go live and talk about it. So you know, say I never talk about after this. Because I listened to Andre last night, you know, and I tell you, say, you see that part there we go? I have been echoing this for months. Warmington, Desmond Mackenzie, Daryl Fars, they have been uttering things that are triggers to trigger violence. You understand what I say? Their body language. You know, remember when Daryl Fars was up on the stage and with the cut throat symbol? They have been doing these things since Andrew Honest Integrity Commission report come out. They have lost their God-given mind, and I devil alone are occupied. Because no responsible politician is going to come and tell the people themselves, we have to take it to the streets to defend Andrew. For what? Him own doing when financial statutory declaration is not concerned. Why should you take it to the streets? You take it to the streets, it's going to do what? More than cause armed violence. That's what Desmond Mackenzie said in a meeting after Andrew when the statutory declaration came out. Right? And him carried him go to court to strike down the law. So there will be no more Integrity Commission law. Right? These people are untenable. They are blatantly, yo, Tom upset. I not even want to say wrong thing. Listen to me, man. Them people that need to go, Bridget. Them need to go. You understand? You hear what the Bridget here say? Where I deal with Bridget? My life, you know. Yeah, you hear me? Yeah, my life, you know.
I'm a general.
Yeah, man.
Program.
Yeah, you know some life though.
You see why
okay. So talk to me.
This is what we call it.
Say that again.
And nationwide, what we call it. Nationwide.
Talk to me. Because the man upset me, boy. I come talk about bleach and
general, what the fuck people actually want to ask about what
I tell you, say, man, them are germs, brother. The man, them are germs. You understand?
Because you're going to country, brother. Why you asking about that, brother?
Tell me how that relevant in that situation.
How that relevant, brother?
That have nothing to do with Dennis Chung. And you see me come laugh and I skin off him teeth. Well, I just got some report.
Go talk to the police about that, brother.
Exactly.
We are talking about different matter, G.
But you see, he's a distraction, and that's what Nationwide does. They distract you. They distract you from the real issues.
We are going to take their lives, brother.
I mean, if their lives,
brother. We are taking it, brother.
I mean, I'm not sure. We
come with distraction, brother.
Big old distraction. What that have to do with the meeting and then
what does that do with, brother?
Appointment.
Bigger thing, brother.
You see, watch out now. You see, because him always come and ask Marky G some question, you know. Anytime they do conference. Remember the last time they do a conference and him ask Marky G about what is his involvement in FinSA. And Marky G look at him straight like, brother, I'm not even in a government. I was a businessman, I was a lawyer. What are you talking about? So they keep pushing these lies and narratives to try to involve PMP in a corruption because they know say JLP is involved in so much corruption. So they want to create this idea, say, oh, these two parties are the same. We are not the same.
No.
You understand?
No, fuck you, brother.
Yeah.
What kind of question you asked 2 questions a while ago. And then you come back and say, well, not about this, I want to talk about something now. The man said, talk to the police, then more than ask it. If you have a question, call the police and talk to the police then. Me not busy about that. Good answer the time can get pussy, brother.
Brother, yo.
I want them, man.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know.
You might make it upset, brother, and the program is so good, brother. I am upset, brother.
You see me? Crazy. But I'm going to make somebody else call in or go over the first part of this because I only part things me have to cover. You hear me, brother?
That's cool, man. Let's go on there, my brother.
Alright, respect for general. Yeah, man. Big up the whole of Spanish Town.
Every time, brother, man. Every time, brother. Right now, I'm in a Roman Price. Just definitely go over there, brother.
Oh, yeah, I mean, big up the general.
Yeah, man, Roman Price. Everything up, man. We can't go. I go there, brother, man.
Oh, I mean, man. No joke.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, man. Out here, man. Out here, man.
Alright. Yeah, me never get for And big up Anissa Belrose because she reached out to me and said, "We now go live and cover this." I look like she never have the time and she go live already. I saw we stay as a unit to this thing. Only for respect and love to Anissa Belrose. And you know, everybody else where I do the right thing. You see me I deal with, you can't call out everybody's name right now. More speed this up in about how am I do it? Can't speed up. Can't speed up enough. Just have to make it play. They have a come in now. Hold on. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Here we go.
In a time of despair, welcome to Hope Road. Today we've called this press conference to address a matter of urgent national importance, and we will be having 3 speakers that will be coming to address it today. First up will be the leader of the opposition, the president of the People's National Party.
Come through market.
Mr. Mark Golden, thank you.
Yeah, man. Osia, big up. Big up everybody. Judith, big up. What do you hear Dana say?
Good afternoon, everyone. The matter of the Integrity Commission report into the statutory declarations filed by the Prime Minister and their investigation of his affairs in relation to, in particular, the offense of illicit enrichment has been of grave national concern to Jamaicans at home and abroad. The Integrity Commission, after their extensive investigation, due to a lack of information forthcoming from the Prime Minister on critical elements of facts that were relevant to the matters that they were investigating, felt it necessary to refer the matter to the Financial Investigations Division and Tax Administration of Jamaica for further investigation on different aspects of what had come out in their investigations. It is therefore of critical importance that the Financial Investigations Division, which has been without a chief technical director for some time since the resignation and departure of Selvin Hay, that it be led by somebody who is competent in the kind of issues that the FID is set up to deal with as an investigative agency, and also be not tainted in any manner with any kind of political cloud over it. Whoever the chief technical director of the FID is, must be somebody who's not perceived as having any particular political affiliation or bias. And we feel strongly that the appointment of Dennis Chung is itself an act which will further corruption in the country, because he is somebody who has already publicly stated positions in relation to the matters that the FID ought to be investigating, which are strongly in favor of the Prime Minister and which seek to undermine or belittle the impact and importance of the findings that the Integrity Commission has made on the matters that they investigated as set out in the report they sent to Parliament. He has commented on the 28 bank accounts operated by the Prime Minister and his companies, on the volume of funds that have flowed through those accounts over the period of their investigation in excess of $470 million, on the issue to do with the Positive Jamaica, a non-profit foundation that receives monies for worthy causes donated from local and overseas contributors, those funds being used to purchase financial investments in the name of and for the benefit of Mr. Holness's personal companies. On each of these matters, he publicly sought to take a position that's led to the impression that there was nothing amiss, there's no case to answer, everything is above board. Even the nil returns filed by companies that had bank accounts with hundreds of millions of dollars passing through them, he said there was nothing peculiar about that. Nil tax returns. He clearly is a biased person on this matter. He clearly would have a conflict leading the FID to investigate this matter. And that is why we're saying he should resign that position if he's accepted it, or the appointment should be rescinded and revoked forthwith. It is too vital to Jamaica's democracy and the rule of law in our country that what will be the most important and significant investigation by the FID in its history should not be led by somebody who has taken a position on key issues that are the substance of that investigation, positions which are in favor of the Prime Minister, as opposed to positions which the FID ought to be investigating in a non-biased, non-partisan way, based on what the findings of the Integrity Commission were already on those matters. And that is why we thought it necessary to call this press conference today to state for the record that we are totally opposed to this appointment, that we feel that this appointment is itself a corrupt act because it's furthering what we believe is going to be an attempted cover-up of this matter, and that we are calling upon Jamaica to ensure that this does not go any further. And at this point, I'm going to hand over to my colleagues who will go into different aspects of this in greater detail. And so I'm going to ask Julian Robinson to speak next.
Good afternoon. Jamaica has, over the many years, developed a strong reputation of having institutional integrity in terms of our anti-corruption framework. From the Integrity Commission to other institutions that have the responsibility for investigating financial crimes, both in the public and the private sector. If we look at the history of individuals who have been charged to lead certainly the FID, you'll see persons who have extensive backgrounds in either law enforcement, financial crimes, anti-money laundering, etc. This is the first time that an individual, while having general accounting and management experience, would be leading the FID without specific investigative experience. And the position is Chief Technical Director. And people might say, yes, there are persons within the organization who may have the technical expertise, but this position requires someone who has that specific expertise. And it is important for us to maintain the credibility of the country's the investigation of financial crimes. Putting Dennis Chung there, I believe, threatens that credibility which is not just local, but credibility which is international, because the FID is the main interface with other international organizations who cooperate with the country in investigating financial crimes. And so we see the appointment as a retrograde step, actually, and it has implications for how Jamaica would be perceived within the international community in relation to this particular matter. And so, as the opposition leader has said, the appointment should be rescinded. Mr. Chung should not accept it, because at best, the perception of bias is there, and the reality in this case, having already pronounced on a number of these issues. It is almost impossible for that reality of bias not to be seen there. And if the outcome of this investigation, which as the leader said is the most important that FID will ever undertake, absolves the Prime Minister of any wrongdoing, then it will just play into the hands of everybody who said, you sent that person there for that particular outcome. So from our perspective as a party, beyond the individual, we see this as a threat to the institutional arrangements for the investigation of financial crimes. And it should be rescinded, and an individual who is appropriately qualified with the experience and who has no taint of political bias should be appointed to head the FID. I'll invite my colleague, Mr. Bunting, to speak further.
Thank you, Julian. Good afternoon, everyone. When I heard of this announcement yesterday afternoon, I reached out to an authority on financial crime and asked them to state the ideal qualifications and experience for the exec, and I just used it generically. This is someone who's not in Jamaica. I said, give me the ideal qualifications and experience for the executive head of a financial investigative unit that is a member of the Egmont Group. The response was that a candidate should reflect the strategic, legal, analytical, and diplomatic demands of leading a high-integrity institution charged with combating money laundering, terrorist financing, and other financial crimes. The candidate should meet international expectations for independence, competence, and credibility. With respect to academic and professional qualifications, a master's degree in law, finance, economics, criminology, accounting, public administration, or related fields was the minimum academic requirement. They then went on to say they would need specialized training in anti-money laundering or counter-terrorist financing certifications, training in forensic accounting, cybercrime, financial intelligence, or asset recovery. With regard to relevant experience, they said they should have at least 10 years experience in financial crime investigation, compliance, or intelligence gathering, with 5+ years in senior management or executive roles. Proven leadership of multidisciplinary and cross-border teams, experiencing overseeing complex case analysis, data management systems, and interagency coordination. In terms of financial crime investigation and analysis, they should have direct experience in conducting or supervising investigations into A, money laundering and related predicate offenses, B, terrorist financing, C, asset tracing and forfeiture, and D, knowledge of typologies, red flags, and financial flows relevant to organized crime, cyber-enabled crime, and corruption. In terms of legal and regulatory knowledge, familiarity with the FATF recommendations, Egmont Group standards, and domestic AML and CFT legal frameworks, and experience working with or within law enforcement, regulatory authorities, prosecutors, or financial supervisors. And then in terms of the international cooperation, they spoke to a track record of engagement with international counterparts, including FIUs, law enforcement, FATF-style regional bodies such as CFATF and the Egmont Group, and the ability to negotiate memoranda of understanding and lead international case collaboration. In terms of essential competencies, they highlighted the integrity and independence needed for the role, unimpeachable ethics, and capacity to lead an institution free from political interference, deep understanding of the secure handling of sensitive data, technological awareness, familiarity with financial intelligence systems, data analytics, and secure information exchange platforms, and so on. And then in terms of desirable attributes, not essential, but their prior role as a deputy director, a director of compliance, or a chief analyst within a national financial investigative unit. So in summary, what we see is that the executive head of an FIU in the Egmont Group must combine deep technical expertise in financial crime with leadership, discretion, and an international outlook. They serve not just as an investigator-in-chief, but as a guardian of financial transparency and impartiality, and a partner to global financial intelligence bodies. And I invite you to look at previous chief technical directors, persons like Selvin Hay, Justin Felice, Calvin Small, all very senior detectives with distinguished careers in criminal investigations and intelligence gathering, and specifically anti-corruption and financial crimes. Or alternatively, look at Robin Sykes, former senior counsel at BOJ, point person in interacting with the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, and someone with specialized expertise in anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing, and as well as financial regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, by comparison, Dennis Chung is a weak and unsuitable candidate for this post. And when you look at the January 2025 ad for this post, you will be surprised to see that it looks like a generic management or administrative post, rather than for someone who is a chief technical director in a financial investigative unit. Thank you.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to add on something to what Peter Bunting said with something that Peter Bunting said. Last night at the conference, yes, there it is. Last night at the conference, ladies and gentlemen, in Central Kingston, Peter Bunting revealed something that I did not even know. All right, which is very significant to this whole situation with Dennis Chung. And I'm glad they did this. All right, I'm going to fast forward to the point where he said he started to talk about it. To add on to this reaction right here. Remember to like and share the video, people. Don't keep this to yourself. All right, right here, so here we go.
This is very important.
All right.
And remember, we're talking here tonight, not just to Central Kingston. We're talking to the entire Jamaica. So I want you to listen closely. So this Donovan Williams has come out and declared that he is not the ultimate beneficial owner of this company, but he is just a trustee hiding the identity of the real owner. So let me just take you back, Comrade Floyd. I believe you and I were both in the Senate when we were debating the 2023 bill to amend the Companies Act. And in that debate, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith warned Parliament, and I quote, "Failure to act risks FATF blacklisting." FATF stands for Financial Action Task Force. This is an international agency that if they graylist or worse blacklist Jamaica, pure problems for our financial system, pure problems for our economy. She said failure to act risks FATF blacklisting,
which would cripple Jamaica's economy, jeopardizing businesses, government operations, and everyday citizens by branding us as a high-risk jurisdiction. End quote. So,
Mr. Bunting, we just say a while ago, you have to repeat that because that can't say one time, you know. What did Commissioner Johnson Smith say in the Senate when they were putting out this? Let's listen again.
Parliament, and I quote, failure to act risks FATF blacklisting. FATF stands for Financial Action Task Force. This is an international agency that if they graylist or worse blacklist Jamaica, pure problems for our financial system, pure problems for our economy. She said failure to act risks FATF blacklisting, which would cripple Jamaica's economy, jeopardizing businesses, government operations, and everyday citizens by branding us as a high-risk jurisdiction. End quote.
So people, you guys see why this situation with Dennis Chung is so critical. You hear the things them that can happen to Jamaica's reputation financially, worldwide. The fact that they are hiding the owner of this company that sell the drill for $31 million, and then now Chung gone in a FID as director. Everything is tied up when it comes to the level of corruption. The world is watching us. You understand what I say? And for far too long, we as Jamaican people, we have just sat back. We are waiting for an election. It's like, I can't tell you guys what to do, you know. But my goodness, when is enough enough? When I have Andrew Honest on stage sit down talking about in belly full, and him not leaving here. So I continue to destroy the country. Can you imagine if Jamaica goes down this hole of being blacklisted, ladies and gentlemen, by the international financial community? Do you guys forget what Portia Simpson had to go through because of a similar thing with the IMF? We should have to crawl upon our belly and beg them for the business with them again. There's certain procedures that needs to be followed, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, these guys are blurring the lines for their own benefit. Because there's no way Dennis Chung being appointed to thank you. There's no way Dennis Chung being appointed to the FID head position, one of the FID head position, is actually benefiting the people of Jamaica and our reputation overseas. And it's a financial institution that deals with corruption. It's all tied in. It is all tied in, ladies and gentlemen. Time come, man. Enough is enough, man. This is beyond just one election. I remember when Dr. Dar said there's some people out here that will do anything, even take the life of people just to win. You hear what I said? Oh, so they better wake up. They better wake up. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Alright? Crazy, man. Insane. Anybody want to call in, then you can call in, you know. Alright? The lines are open. Let me see. Go back to the other part. I'm going to listen this back over again. The last part, last some say, him did say him not left Jamaica like how him get. Yeah, him say him not left Jamaica like how him come see it. Sudden destruction I go take him. That low life rich. Lynette walk one Lynette. Last of no mix yards. Last time when they say your birthday. I Gemini like my mother and when they say your birthday. No man, the man terrible man. Man, if you come down, brother. Let me find this. Let me find this. Partner Draw TV. Yeah, man. We need to find Andre always have some little perspective where a little connection and intelligence where you know he look a bit kinda different. But I don't know how him well, him did the end of the thing, him did the end of the system, so let's just say the man is connected. Oh God, him not go live. I think him go live today 1 o'clock, you know. Him still feel away out here cause him surgery and thing. Well, let's keep our prayers out for Andre Stevens. I hope that he recovers swiftly. You know what I mean? And get back on his feet to the people him. You know, say him supporters them. And I am one of them where you know want to see the what is this? No, that's not the right one. Andre Stevens, something we just copy a while ago. What is? Oh, sir. Oh, yes, I forgot to say, I did actually cover this too. I see, man. Yeah. I've got them to the end. I catch right them I want to catch. No, me not even talk about this man because him Andre played that couple times. Me not even talk about him. Him no need no highlight. He don't put for himself nationwide on the dust. Yo, me can't believe so on the dust. Yo, nationwide I worse in my opinion, man. I worse. Me can't say worse. Yo, the man them are the worst. The man them not ready, bridging. You hear me say? Man them not ready. But Andre deal with the 8. Andre deal with Chung too, you know. I go over that still. I gun part more and go over. I tell you, I gun part more and go over. Alright, let me see.
People of Jamaica. Are you going to accept this one?
I tell you. Wait till they go down to your part.
Are you going to accept this one? Jamaica. I'm sure you equally heard this evening
welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's about Bolo and I want to go over this part of Partnership TV where Andre spoke about the big gun fine. Alright? Let's listen carefully to what he has to say because it's very interesting. The angle which he's taking it from. Very interesting indeed. Listen to this.
I am sure you heard about the 220 firearms.
Mighty God.
That came in the country. The 220 firearms that came in the country. These 220 firearms, Jamaica, were found at a warehouse on Industrial Terrace called 214. One stop or universal freight handlers. Not on the wharf they found them, you know. But you know this one that is this one that is actively. Right? Industrial Terrace. It's a public warehouse where customers clear their shipment. Owned by Andrew Gallimore. You remember that former member of parliament for West Central St. Andrew? But I recall Jamaica. This is the said member of parliament of who? Desmond Mackenzie. Who owns the warehouse? Andrew Gallimore.
Embarrassing.
You heard what I said tonight? Who remember what Desmond Mackenzie said a few months ago? What did he say, Courtney? I will not surrender. Who remember what he said? Who?
We will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. Never!
Deputy leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond Mackenzie, issuing that declaration at an Area Council 1 meeting in the St. Andrew East.
Play it again, producer.
We will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. Never!
Deputy Leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond Mackenzie, issuing that declaration at an Area Council 1 meeting in the St. Andrew East.
He will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. And how coincidental, Courtney? In the constituency of Desmond Mackenzie, where this warehouse is. How coincidental?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I've been on record several times questioning those utterances from Desmond Mackenzie. At the least, I can say they are irresponsible, they are flagrant, they are gaslighting. To say that you will not give up Jamaica to the People's National Party leaves us to interpret those statements in many different ways. Are you suggesting that you own Jamaica? Or are you suggesting that you have Jamaica under hostage? What are you saying when you're saying you will not give up Jamaica to the PNP? The last time I checked, it's a democracy where you go and people vote. And when you lose, you go slung on your yard. You understand? I go slung in the opposition seat. Whatever the case might be. You understand? Look at all these guns in a warehouse. Right? That's allegedly owned by a former MP. That is allegedly in the constituency of Desmond Mackenzie. That said this months ago from last year. Right? And I was very concerned about it. I have spoken about it multiple times. Because people have been talking about the 80s and what happened in the 80s and what the Labour Right did in the 80s. You understand? People were being unalived in PNP areas. Right? So what was these utterances? What did it mean? And I don't think he has ever come out and clarified those statements. I bet you know that Andre has put this together the way he has. There's going to be some type of response. I bet you. Because them love threat for sue, you know. But he's asking a question, and it's a valid question, and in a sensible person that is looking at the context of what he said when he said it. You have to ask the question, because I've been asking it before this gun find. I've been asking, what do you mean, Desmond Mackenzie, when you say that? Is it possible that those statements can incite violence amongst the supporters, the shower posse? Everybody knows the history of the JLP and what they are connected to. It is no secret. They have vloggers online threatening people's lives. One from England the other day said, if PNP win, he might come down to Jamaica and take up arms. I wonder if I them arms I want to talk about. Him said that live on TikTok. So if you are a politician that understands the history and politics in Jamaica and been around for how long, isn't it really irresponsible for you to utter such words that could incite violence? There needs to be some type of committee. And see, this is where the political ombudsman come into place. And they have destroyed the political ombudsman. This government has done everything to not be accountable for their actions. They have done everything to destroy accountability. But when Andrew Holness came in, when Andrew Holness was seeking power, he was Mr. Accountability. Remember Richard Hassan? Oh, it's a dark day because Richard Hassan cut corners to make some shops for poor people. He didn't go about it the right way. We can admit that. But the intention was to help some poor people. And Andrew only said it was a dark day. Then what is this? There's been many darker days under the JLP so far in the last 9 years. Scandal, baka scandal, corruption, baka corruption. And the biggest one is the head of the stream. Integrity Commission cannot certify him statutory declaration. And the man take them to court. The man sue the Jamaican government himself while being the government. What can go so? The man try to strike out. The man got a court to strike out the actual law that makes the Integrity Commission the Integrity Commission. When Peter Bunting said there is no shame at Belmont Road, these guys have buried shame in the pits of hell. They don't care about how it really looks. They just want to paint a picture and hope that you bite. One bag of corruption and nastiness from this government. Let's continue.
Andrew. But I recall Jamaica. This is the said member of parliament of who? Desmond Mackenzie. Who owns the warehouse? Andrew Gallimore. You heard what I said tonight? Who remember what Desmond Mackenzie said a few months ago? What did he say, Courtney? I will not surrender. Who remember what he said? Who?
We will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP.
The man said we'll never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. Hold on. Let us look up the word surrender. Show your context again. Let us look. Very, very interesting choice of words, Mr. Mackenzie. What does surrender mean? Stop resisting to an enemy or opponent. Submit to their authority. So, when PNP win the next general election, you are claiming that your government will not submit to their authority. People look at the meaning of surrender. You can see it clear on the screen. Give up or hand over person, right, or position. So Desmond Mackenzie, the position that you hold in a government, you don't plan to give it up when the PNP win. So the seat over the ruling party, you are going to sit down over there with the PNP. And most that you are going to do? Typically on compulsion or demand. Wow! Relinquish, renounce, cede. So even if the PNP win the election, he will not concede to his losses. Mighty God, what does that mean? Then how are you going to go about that democratically, Mr. Mackenzie? How are you going to democratically not surrender power to the PNP when they win the election? How are you going to do that legally? Tell me how you're going to do that legally. People, want to see what I'm talking about? Want to see this choice of words that was used? That's why I love the dictionary, you know. The man said he will not surrender Jamaica to the PNP. Saturday, how you doing? Wow. Continue. Never.
Deputy Leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond Mackenzie, issuing that declaration at an Area Council 1 meeting in the St. Andrew East.
Play it again, producer. Play it again.
We will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. Never.
Deputy Leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond Mackenzie, issuing that declaration at an Area Council 1 meeting in the St. Andrew East.
He will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. And how coincidental, Courtney? In the constituency of Desmond Mackenzie, where this warehouse is. How coincidental? 220 guns. The largest seizure of guns. 220 guns. And what did Desmond McKenzie say?
He will not surrender to the PNP.
What did he say?
He will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP. Never!
Deputy Leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond McKenzie, issuing that declaration.
I am asking how coincidental. I'm not suggesting. So I can get him lawyer them.
Here we Andre said. Last time I use, you know. Last time say when Siaga used to beat him ass, I surrender him, surrender. Whoa! Hard out.
Whoa! Yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Funny, honey. That's funny. Oh my God, that is funny.
Somebody say, last I'm saying at the chat say, at the same warehouse them see 16 guns a couple months ago. Wow, so it is so allegedly this warehouse is appears to be an area of high levels of activity. Somebody says, see him look like Cobra Snake. Mighty God, don't know easy. Hostile moments practice. No, sir. This not safe. This not safe.
You can't go get his incompetent lawyers to come and say, him a drop lawsuit. Come the same drop lawsuit from Damien and Dayton. But how coincidental, Jamaica? How coincidental tonight? We will never surrender. And in less than 3 months, 220 firearms found in a warehouse in his constituency. How coincidental, Jamaica? How coincidental? How coincidental? And remember, Dennis Chung was one of them who said that the government never forced Bolo to invest in money in SSL. You remember when he did say that?
All this kind of off topic in about. I'm really a talk about the gun them and them fine, but Virgin. Dennis Chung, you need to come down here. Yeah, man. You need to come down. Yeah, you made some public statements where you clearly compromised, brother. You need to come down. You said this is the next event-tied home incident in a different demonstration. May I tell you? Even that. Hey, is it true that you know what? Let me end that. Let me end this reaction. People, let me know what you think about that with the guns in the comment section, alright? Now, is it true that Andrew Holness defended Siaga being a part of the CIA? Is that true? Hold on there. Andrew Holness defends Siaga being a part of the CIA. I don't know if this is true. I really need to hold on. Andrew Holness says Siaga being a part of the CIA benefited, something like that, the article benefited Jamaica, I think. Yeah, hold on. Because I cannot believe this. This cannot be true. No, Sankey, nothing can go so. It's not in dispute that Edward Siaga has been principal. What? Prime Minister has hailed Siaga Hold on there. Wait. Prime Minister Holness hailed Siaga as transformational leader whose purpose was rooted in serving the people. I don't want to listen. Those are just words. Those are just words. Those are empty words that don't mean a damn thing. Let me hear this.
Edward Philip George Siaga. By the way, that was how we used to ring him onto the stage. That name has a certain ring to it. Edward Philip George Siaga. It is providential that I stand here today to pay tribute to one who mentored me
You know, some never realized so they not hear me though. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, thank you so much, Splash Teacher. I was saying that, do you guys remember Andrew Holness? Want to hear about an article with Andrew Holness supporting Edward Siaga being a part of the CIA, trying to spin that it was somehow beneficial to Jamaica, allegedly. Have you guys seen an article like that? You could have swear me glimpsed something like that. They want to throw out the most awful words at the PNP, and the PNP should do and shouldn't. Yeah, listen, the JLP lie on the PNP on a daily and weekly basis, and as soon as Dr. Das does an investigation with facts and questions, here comes lawsuits. Not propaganda, you know. Facts and questions. Here comes a lawsuit. That's how them operate. But may I look for this article here? But Nation Wide supposed to cover this. Rising Sun, the court only I do what President Trump do. You know, I really don't see the coalition. A lot of people talk about Andrew and Chung. Brethren, Andrew only stayed in our whole league by himself, in my opinion. By himself. Right? Trump was actually a wealthy person. Andrew Holness did broke and come from poor beginnings. And was a politician all his life and then get wealthy. How he get wealthy? Questionable. But he allegedly is a billionaire. You see him? And he's been only a politician and became a multi-billionaire allegedly. That's crazy. If you look at the Integrity Commission report, how much money passed through accounts in a 3-4 year period, unbelievable. Unbelievable. hundreds of thousands of US dollars. That is equivalent to multiple of millions of Jamaican dollars. You feel me? So, hey, properties here, properties there, offshore, what they call the shell companies, the ADMAT over there. So, all of this, you see me? Yo, it's wild. It's very, very wild. Alright? When they really think about it. But anyway, I did a video with Peter Bunting. You guys can go watch it. He really laid it out. He really laid out everything from the Integrity Commission report. He came with his notes. He was not playing around. As him said, you know, them love sued. Oh, anyway, this brother here, an escape. He has been shot. So where him escape from? Prison? Oh, man, can't escape from prison in Jamaica. So that needs to be addressed. You know? Talk about at least 133 people have been fatally shot by security forces. How much do you gone out of here? Mighty God. At least 133 people. Police them a chop hard. No, sir. Stay clear of police people. You don't want to be in confrontation with them here. It could be fatal. I'm just saying, I'll be a confrontation and people are dead. It's understood the drover lost control, Lord have mercy, of a vehicle which they veered sharply off the road. The occupants were taken to the Anata Bay Hospital, where one man died while undergoing treatment and the other admitted in serious condition. So that's all this said. One dead following car crash in St. Mary. I know this man look for. There was another incident. There's another incident that I saw. I saw some gruesome pictures of. Police Federation chairman calls for introduction of drone patrols. Drone patrols. Wow, this is interesting. Let me share this with this screen. Drone patrols. What you mean by that? Colin, what's up? Jasmine said they didn't give him the chance because I have a sense his fingers are not his. Lord have mercy. Somebody said the JLP, what name? Raymond Price said the JLP, them have adhesive fingers. Sticky fingers. Anything they touch, you stick on their fingers. Hey, big up Raymond Price, yeah. Yo!
That is funny.
I'll never forget when you said that on Andre's Stevens show.
Oh my God, that is funny.
So this lady right here, alright, she says that a chairman of the police, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene McBean is calling for the JCF to roll out drone patrols. She says while stakeholders clamor for increased use of body-worn cameras by law enforcement, drone patrol should also be utilized as a crime fighting tool. Thank you. Thank you. Only criminals, and I say this again, only criminals are persons that seek to do criminality as an issue with drone patrol or body-worn cameras. So if you're on the spectrum of fighting against body-worn cameras, I'm telling you, I look at you as a criminal, personally. That's just my opinion. Alright? Because too much is going on in this country where corruption is concerned. We need to catch some of these people off guard on tape with some drone, have good microphone we can zoom in and hear them say, if that is not against the law, you know what I mean, privacy, whatever. Yeah, we need something. As long as you don't violate the constitutional rights, I am all for it. But anything that violates our constitutional rights, I will not support it. You get me? Yeah. So let me hear what she says.
I know there is a desperate call for body-worn cameras. We are not averse when it comes on to the wearing of body-worn cameras. It's a part of our narrative when
I don't like this lady's tone already. We are not averse when it comes down to body-worn cameras. So you're making excuses now again, in my opinion, to not wear body-worn cameras. We are not averse. Have a strong dislike or opposition. Oh, okay. So that means you're not opposed to body-worn cameras. All right. I hope so. No? All right. Let's continue.
We speak at parades, briefing parades, and so on, and meet with our membership. I spoke about Jamaica 62 when there were 1,000 drones, and I said that 1,000 drones, we could have 50-50 for each division, have a drone patrol system.
Now, a drone patrol system would require a database to actually keep the footage. It's the same thing for the body-worn cameras. I would contest that a drone patrol system would take up even more data. A drone patrol? No. I don't know. I'll take that back. It depends on how long a drone can be used in the air for. Because if it's a 24-hour system, you know, sometimes, yeah, it 50-50. Both of them will take up a lot of data in terms of storage. I mean, how much police you have? And then, is all the police going to have body-worn cameras? I don't think we're at that stage yet where them have every police can have body-worn cameras. One of the main things I want to see where body-worn cameras is used is when they're doing major operations and so-called going for people. I think that should be the concentrated era where body-worn cameras are used.
And that drone system could capture so many things in addition to a body-worn camera. So we are calling for some consideration for drone patrol to see how best we can equip our men and women to have that aerial view, that full coverage, and enhance public safety.
Somebody, Karen, where I say, what's the number to call in? So Karen, I don't know my number. Karen, me feel like fight you. Karen, you can't believe say just ask me that a while ago. Here's the number, Karen. Karen, me and you go fight. See the number up on the screen. Yes, last some have to be a criminal. Have to be a criminal. If you know what the body worn cameras are we and I use, you have to be a criminal. I am not sorry. Me no want to spoil up the day, Bolo. Bolo, me want to enjoy all it. And your entire administration I give me pain in my mind. Hey, if you love last some one more time. Hey, I say it so much, it's not even a joke. Last some say. You remember this? Me tell you, say Pandora box open, you know. Dr. Alfred Dawes, ladies and gentlemen, has opened the Pandora's box. You hear me? I tell you, no? You remember good. Anyway, somebody just sent my message a while ago. Mummy, oh, behind spell. You never spell it, no? Hey, Mr. Lassop just spell it. B-A-H-I-N-D. Boy! Somebody just text me a while ago and say Shane Darling is head of service commission. Look him up. He was a JLP counselor. Shane Darling or Darling or whatever. Jones for martial law and Mark of the Beast. Huh? Hey, Karen never asked Plusos in a chat to me. Karen, you have to clarify that thing. Calling the Karen. Now get the number. I will say them vex all this. The way somebody said the way I get Andrew, I can't explain it. My surname is on the pink wall. That effer. Andrew, the day is coming like when the Son of Man shall appear. You hear that? RASS man. Him belly full and him don't. Ready to leave. Me vex. No, sir. People ever text me instead of call me. And what is? No, sorry. The people ever text me instead of call me. Alright, me get one look video of this situation with the car when me I talk about. I want to make him play. Accident out at Enfield. Hold on. Oh, that I want screenshot. Alright. Let me see this. Alright, that one there with the man named body. Me don't want to show that one there at all. That one there with the man named body lie down. Me have to review this before me play it and show the people. Can't just play soccer. Me don't want no strike like the channel in it. You have to be careful what you show up on YouTube.
Flag over the dog. Yes,
you call that a place, man? My God. So that a place you think I want plane crash? Whoa, you know, man? One thing me know about Jamaican people, you know, when them see accident and trauma, you know, they head to it, you know. They make sure stop and drop crowd. They now move for it. Yeah, me can't show you that one here. Can't show you that one here. Yeah, man, 45165 6535, not 31. 4516535. That's the number for call. Anyway, let me show you what I'm going on the video here, sir. Look for the fire oil high, people. The fire blaze almost as high as the tree where they beside. Today. A tree police? Tree police?
Flag over the dog.
So what on there? I tried them, I drive hard. Oh, this accident happened. Yo, man, I tell you, some spiritual things are going on in Jamaica cause them something, you know. The man, them dabbling in some evil, you know, in a high place, you know. Them being a normal, you know. Would I never want to be a police in a Jamaica person? You know what kind of order man they have over him and them. I tell you that. I never want to be a police right now. No, sir. Look on this. Go there. See that? My God. No, sir. Take time, take out that half ice cream. See the people. See the news coming in. News coming in. Hey, again, big up on Isabel Rose, you know, man. Holy pal of and respect, you know. You know, so me get something, sense of, I have something I'm going to share with you differently, you know. Yeah, man, for real. Not even, we don't talk about Dennis Chung, yeah, man. This I want to lick me for 6, when I lie. Hey, big up, Jamaica call us. That one I lick me for 6. Full 106. So hold on, how about this? Oh, sorry, my bad. There we go. Yeah, where they? Yeah, see that.
Some people will make a choice irrationally. They wake up on the wrong side one morning, kiss them teeth, and make a wrong vote, and then them suffer for the rest of the time.
Oh no! So, Andrew Owens, I describe what happened to the people in Jamaica from 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Then kiss them teeth off a PMP and turn them back and go vote for him. We have to play that back. Yo, the man I talk about himself, you know. Yo, this is a man I base here, man. What they say about the abundance of the heart in the Bible. You know me?
Some people.
What they say about the abundance of the heart in the Bible and the truth. Huh? the scripture go?
Will make
out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. Mommy, you gotta be me new, you gotta be me like Andre have quote, you know, you gotta be me quote, you know. Yeah, when we are start this whole life together. We give you a microphone, we get talk. So then you can, yeah man, anytime you want some scripture reference with us, we just knock you.
some people will make a choice irrationally. They wake up on the wrong side one morning, kiss them teeth, and make a wrong vote, and then them suffer for the rest of the time.
So ladies and gentlemen, the Jamaican people made an irrational decision 9 years ago, 10 years ago. Wake up on the wrong side of the bed, kiss them teeth, and go vote for the wrong smarty. And we have suffered from that time till now. That is exactly what happened. Oh no! Talk about it.
Some people will make a choice based on a promise.
Oh! You mean you amount of promise them with your promise to Jamaican people? Like the 100-day promise? We are going to do in a 100 days and you have not done anything that you promised that you would do in those 100 days. You mean like that? Yo, me said cat mouth kill cat. This is not normal, people. This is too easy. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Will make a choice based on a promise.
So the people in Jamaica made a choice to vote for you in 2016 based on some promises that they were yearning for, like fixed election, like transparency, like accountability, like cleaning up the government, cleaning up corruption. But here we are in 2025. Your statutory declaration cannot be certified, and you have sued the entity that did not certify you and tried to strike out the law itself that dealt with the corruption of illicit enrichment. Wow. What a U-turn. Not even U-turn. Y'all walk back way. Because of a U-turn. Y'all looking at our face. And I tell you blatant life from 2016 till now. And I walk back way instead of forward in the position where they take. And promise. Wow, Mr. Prime Minister. Ain't that something? People, what money you hide me, man?
I have a horse for you and that horse can fly.
Andrew only tell me say horse can fly and the people and believe them. The man not talk about himself, you know? The man not talk about himself and when do people him. That's why he come and say him belly full and he not leave ya. You know here? But him not leave Africa UK. But yet still a apartheid Privy Council. You pledge allegiance to the king, which you never had to do, but there is some type of salary attached to that too, don't it? And then other perks I assume. Right? But the loyalty to the king, but yet still don't have a problem with Mark Bolin being a white man. That born ya, come from ya, shot like we, original Jamaican. Yes, there are some white people like that. Them born ya, they come from them original Jamaican, them in the roots and culture of Jamaica. As a matter of fact, some of them appreciate the culture more than only black people. And then champion it too. Kind of found on like Rasta, you know, especially in the JLP. And we know this from the Carl Garden incident. When them call for the unaliving of the rest of them and lock up some of them. You understand? I think a Buster man thing? How would you do that? One of them. Correct me correct me in the comment section for order. Which Prime Minister, which JLP Prime Minister was there at the time and who called for that. See? And they even apologize for it. Right? Buster Manti, I am the do it. Right? Whatever money they give them there, no, it's not enough. Can't tell you that right now. Because the trauma with them man they go through in that time there. Some me see man come from Kabul station from IRFM. Big old grown 70 or 80-year-old man. And a ball living in water. Because he might remember the trauma of that time where they did go through. You understand? Monica, what's going on? Them wicked man. Them wicked man. Karen, Why you asking me for the what? Stephu Francis, big up. Why you asking me for the WhatsApp number and it's rolling across the screen in white right there? You know, see it? See it there? 451-6535.
And you believe. You don't look at the track record to see if there was any horses that have flown before.
Me say, the man say he never look at the track record to see if any horse has been flown before. He just believe the promise. Andrew Honest, we are guilty. I am guilty. I thought that you actually, I don't never vote. I thought you actually, when I give you a chance to see if you was going to do what you say you would do. Because you were saying all the right things that the Jamaican people was yearning for. Accountability, transparency, meaning say you not hide nothing. But your government hide every goddamn thing. Like who is the owner of the company Medtech? And Minister of Government is on the books as the shareholder, the majority shareholder, but he claims that he's holding it as a trustee for somebody else that is person A, unknown. So you guys are not transparent. You are not accountable because there's trillions of dollars missing in several different agencies of government that cannot be accounted for because you don't have the receipts for it. The Auditor General has come out with many different audits that have proven that yes, we don't have the TAJ where I rent out empty building, I pay for empty building and not a base. For years, Norman don't own the building. And the next one down a west down, so I don't remember what the place name down a west. Down a west side. Right? And one a Anata Bay. The man them a rent out and there's nobody using the building. Empty and I collect hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Millions of dollars, multiple millions of dollars over the 5-year how much year period. The building them empty. What can go so? This is the most corrupt government me ever see in the history of Jamaica. And the man come out and the man said to me, say, yo, the man actually do believe him. Say the man will not come do something different, brother. Because the man young and we say, alright, too much old heads there in the government. We are give a young youth a chance. If we can transform Jamaica into something proper. And the man has totally disappointed the people of Jamaica. Totally, well, the people that actually want to see the truth. The ones that are not blind, can come like someone on some spill or some zungo or something. Make you can't see what the hell is going on. Right? The man has violated every single thing about Jamaica. The man signed the Samoa law. Jamaica, when I go proud place like Caribbean, we could have said, yo, we don't deal with them type of something, you know? By the way, if I'm not mistaken, the Integrity Commission report, and somebody can correct me, I could be wrong. Didn't it state that the building was supposed to be refurbished by this year, September? Isn't the building that Norman Dunn is renting? Isn't there some type of refurbishing supposed to go on, or is it the one down the west? Which are going to cost some more millions of dollars. People, them people are not normal. You hear me I tell you? Them not normal. Them seriously not normal. No.
Yeah, boy. And then there are some people who just don't know. And anything you tell them do.
Cheese and peace. Yo, the man say anything you tell them do. Some people just don't know. The man a play upon the dunceness of the people, you know. The man a play upon the ignorance of the people, you know. Him knows him can just tell some people something and they just believe them, you know. Hey, big up Carlos here, man. Yo, that video is bad. Hey, look at the coat there.
I hold him up.
Hey. Monica. No, sir. No, sir. This is one and normal. Oh, Jesus. My goodness. Wow. You know, let me see. Alright. Let me listen to this. Yeah, here we go.
The Food is Medicine Act bill SB 806 has passed in Oklahoma. We are now one of the first 20 states in the United States to recognize food as a healthcare intervention for people with chronic conditions. This means that people on state Medicaid who have chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure can get a prescription for local food and nutrition education from their doctors. This will stimulate local economy and agriculture, reverse treat chronic conditions in Oklahoma, and save Oklahoma hundreds of millions of dollars in healthcare cost savings potentially. This is huge. This is history. This is remaking healthcare, making Oklahomans healthier and healthier for all of us. It has been so great to watch this bill get passed, to get recognized by the House of Reps today. They stood up and honored me today, and it was amazing. Just shout out to the coalition, Lauren Larson, who's been by my side this whole time. So many of you all, Jimmy Emmons, Oklahoma Association of Conservation Districts, National Produce Prescription Collaborative, Regenerative Ag, Kiss the Ground. You guys changed my life. Just knowing how this is going to, people are Hey everyone,
Ladies and gentlemen, more have a big up John F. Kennedy Jr. You understand? Because I want to big up Chung too, because a Trump make this possible in America by putting John F. Kennedy Jr. in position to transform this era right here. And Oklahoma is only going to be one of many cities that this is going to be a positive change for the people. And I hope that it is you know, I hope that we can get a similar movement here. This young lady that is there with the mango, she is hilarious. The way she does her faces, I love her so much. But it's a very, very serious thing, isn't it? So big up that. Yo, remember check Dr. Dawes. What is Dr. Dawes up to? Dr. Dawes what have been up to? Oh, the man back broad people. The man saying back broad. You're back off a broad for this job. So from there sue him, you don't really put up no more social media posts. Alright, my boss. Big up yourself. Let me see what go on in our Clean and Observer. Any new news? Alright, the Observer are really man wanted for murder in St. Catherine. Surrenders at Mandeville police station. Smart move, my boss. Smart. This is one of the smart criminal them. Yeah, man. May I advise all our criminal them. Right? Anybody we are criminal. Hey, from the man name, from you know so you are criminal. From you know so you are criminal. Just go to the police then, my general. Give up yourself. You have a better chance of staying alive. Because when them come for you, boy, I'm not sure if you got alive. Because confrontation them deadly with the police. But just make you know that. So just do the right thing. Moving on. Alright, over there now. Greener. How about TVJ News too, you know? What going on over here? So woman fined 900,000 for what is? For issuing threats after Othniel Tickman Loban's death. So that's all they do? They charge her $900,000? That's it? Oh, or serve 4 months in prison? I'm sure so she gonna serve that 4 months there. Only 4 months? That's it? So you can just come on you think I just talk to the police them like that and say what you say and you only get 4 months in a prison? People are gonna do that all the time, man. Man can't about 4 months easy, man. Worse a woman prison, woman then will do it. I don't think that is enough punishment. 4 months in a prison, 3 meals a day. She can't complain. She can't complain. I'm just saying. She get out with a slap on the wrist there, so because if it was 4 months in prison and pay the 900,000, I could understand. Because when they make people pockets, when they make them pockets feel it, you know. Right? It kinda hit different, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's interesting. Let me see CVM TV. We just scroll through the news the news entities them to see if there's anything popping. What is this? When was this? 9 minutes ago?
That's the topic we're talking about right
now.
Do you want to complete your thought, Doc?
Yes, let me hear this.
Yes, I am saying here that this announcement about new hotel developments will be required to provide access, and there are some operative words there that one have to pay attention to, which speaks to previously used new hotels. I mean, we have not seen in here about new developments and villas. All right, and this does not seem like it's a rights-based approach, an approach that will be sound in policy, legislation that would make it that Jamaicans have, unfettered rights to the foreshore and to the floor of the sea. That has not been addressed. And what has really, been not addressed is the elephant in the room, and that is the tourism industry that has commandeered, most of all the beaches all the way from Westmoreland into Portland. So this is the policy falls short, because the reparative justice that Jamaicans are looking for and what we have been lobbying for. This is why we're in the courts. This is what people are saying. This is the fight now that is unfolding on Providence Beach in Flankers, right? And so there's a lot of contradictions in here that this announcement does not address.
Why people, me love all the...
Welcome back to here.
Me love all the man them I take this thing serious, when it comes out to the beaches, because it really is a crying shame. Hold on there. Sure, I don't want. Come on from the screen. We think of the article that me I look for. Dennis Chung appointed. Mighty God. Every time I see that, I tell you, I still can't believe. Say Jamaica gone to the dark like this.
That's how the opposition spokesman on energy described the latest GCT cut on electricity by his government counterpart recently. Here's more in this report. Despite the government's push to reduce the alleged intolerable cost of electricity in Jamaica, the opposition appears unmoved by their efforts. Opposition spokesman on energy, Philip Polwell, says the initiatives have come far too late.
What is amusing about the minister's presentation is that presentation really should have been given 9 years ago when the government just came into office. They are signaling belatedly the importance of energy to growth, and the fact is that Jamaica has not grown, largely because the energy policy that we had left there was discontinued, and all of a sudden we are hearing the minister now speaking about a number of initiatives.
Effective May 1, a reduced GCT rate of 7% was applied to all energy charges of both postpaid and prepaid residential customers of the Jamaica Public Service, JPSCO. The new rate replaces the 15% GCT that was previously applied to usage over 150 kilowatt hours. Polwell perceives there may be some political ruse in the blend of offerings made by the minister in his sectoral presentation earlier in May.
I believe the issue of GCT on electricity is really a three-card trick, because those persons who were using electricity up to 150 kilowatt hours, they weren't paying GCT. We had removed GCT from their payments. Today, it is now applicable. And while the government has given a temporary reprieve, we believe that is just because of the elections. Right after the elections, if they were to win, then GCT is back on for the majority of poor people. When we win, we'll ensure that no GCT is applicable to those persons who use below 150 kilowatt hours.
He didn't end there, citing concerns amid his short-lived praise for the US $90 million deal inked between Trinidad and Tobago and the state-run oil refinery Petrojam. Under the deal, Petrojam will supply close to 1 million barrels of very low sulfur fuel oil and high sulfur fuel oil to Trinidad and Tobago to refuel ships. Although there's much revenue to be generated, the former energy minister is weighing the cost.
It is a good deal, but because of the indecision about Petrojam, even with that deal last year, Petrojam lost a lot of money. For the first time in many years, Petrojam suffered a massive loss in its operations. We have to, well, firstly, the government has not settled what it's going to do with Petrojam. So there has been a lot of decisions that ought to have been taken to enable Petrojam to have a firm grasp as to the future, to promote more deals like the one that they did with Trinidad. And that is not happening, and the government really has fallen down. 6-7 years ago, there was a report about Petrojam. Now that report has not cleared cabinet.
When asked whether he'd be sharing insights on how to make the deal better, he quipped, the JLP won't be in power much longer, adding, time come.
Now, what he just said a while ago, my God, 7 years ago, there is a report, a Petrojam report that has not cleared cabinet for 7 years. I wonder why. Me say me can't wait for the JLP lose the PNP going up power. Go release every single report and make it public and break it down to the people and make people know what the hell was going on all this time. You have the FinSac report, you have the Kroll report. Now me I hear about the Petrojam report. Which other report they have when they pay that we pay our tax dollars to do that they have not released? Which other report? This is crazy, man. It's crazy. This is actually crazy. Let me see this video. Comedy. Oh. This dude right here. Cultivate, elevate. Yeah. Y'all need to go check him out, alright? I am not co-signing anything that is being said. This is for reaction purposes. I am here listening. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, this man is right or this man is wrong. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
Organic beet. Because we talked about this yesterday. You were injected with mold to make you allergic to it because the mold pulls out the heavy metals. Think I'm gonna live. Then we find this one, mold and parasites eat heavy metals. Look at this, you got worms growing in your body to eat the metals, and you have mold growing in your body to eat the metals. Once you eliminate the metals, the body begins to heal. Vaccinations contain heavy metals. What's also interesting on the mold situation is it's connected to a spore, which if you go to the Cancer Institute, they talk about how spores heal cancer. But I guess they don't want to tell people that. And it gets deeper when you find out that most of the vaccines also contain yeast, a form of mold, which is being injected into the body to make people allergic to it so they can't eat it to detox the metals. Then someone says, what about citric acid? This is the one to avoid. It's a Monsanto product grown on soy and canola and aluminum. Heavy metals going into the body. See what they're doing? So someone might say, I don't know if I want to eat organic moldy berries.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can screenshot this. This says additional heavy metals detox, dragon blood. What is dragon blood? Organic pumpkin seed, papaya seed, fasting also helps. Baking soda and borax. What is borax? Spirits and turpentine, cilantro, wormwood, black walnut. We have black walnut. You know, I'm going to screenshot Alexa because we need as much as these things as possible, you know. Me personally, people never try to go for one 6 month detox with them something here. Because I need them parasite out of my system, you know. Me know me can get papaya seed easy, pumpkin seed. Me no know dragon blood, me no sure about that one. Fasting, 12-hour fasting can go on. What is this? Spirit of turpentine, cilantro, wormwood, definitely. I don't know about black walnut. What is borax? You use borax to wash? You have borax? They say you can use baking soda and borax. So them say I'm gonna try it out. I'm going on an experiment tour, guys.
Or anything like that, what can I do instead? Here's some additional heavy metal ways to detox: dragon's blood, organic papaya seeds, fasting, baking soda, borax, spirits of turpentine, cilantro, wormwood, and black walnut. And let's just leave it at this. You know, in 1986 they put a rule in place to protect the vaccines? This is why. Because lawsuits, when people find out the truth, could bankrupt them. Have a great day. So today we're
Yo, this dude is he's dope, man. The way how he presents his stuff. Yeah, he's dope. I think there's another video right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we just talked about energy, right? This is the brother with the plastic, what's it called? What's the name? How you pronounce it? Damn. Plastic diesel or something like that. Let's listen.
Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene in the building.
Eugene, Oregon. I am here and I have brought with me plaster diesel.
Yeah, plaster diesel, right? Plaster diesel. Yeah.
A diesel alternative made from plastic waste. A diesel alternative that has just passed a diesel test certification and has been scientifically proven to be cleaner than pump diesel.
Scientifically proven to be cleaner than pump diesel. This man needs to be, man, listen. Yo, PMP, man, y'all need to get this man services, yo. As soon as you come into power, there needs to be a 10-year plan, right? To use up all the plastic in Jamaica to make diesel and fuel, to cut our energy costs at some level. Alright? Somebody needs to hire this man, bro. If it's even to hire him as a consultant to set up a system, right? Not necessarily him giving you his patent blueprint, because you know how that is. But man, I think this brother is a good brother. I think he's really doing this to help to clean up our world in terms of clean energy. Take a look at this.
And today we are about to make history because we're going to run the first ever modern common rail fuel injection diesel vehicle ever off of plastic waste in all of human history right here in Eugene, Oregon, baby.
Hi, Chelsea.
So we got the engine, we got the fuel. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So right now, everybody, we are sucking all of the real diesel out of the fuel filter of this Volkswagen Passat. So the fuel filter of this Volkswagen TDI Passat has just been sucked to dry of all the real diesel, and we're going to be putting my plastic diesel made from plastic waste inside of there.
Demonstration. That's what scientists do. They demonstrate. Let's go. Let's go.
So right now the plastic diesel is being primed throughout the system, so we're just clicking the engine on, clicking it off to get that fuel pump to pump it around before we... There we are! Yeah. Like nothing! So smooth! Wow!
That's crazy.
Wow, look, that's even easier than I thought it was gonna go. That was just...
You know how God must bless you with this type of knowledge for you to do a test as a scientist and it outdoes your expectation. You know what I'm saying? He never even thought that it would be this smooth. It was one click. It is just as good as the regular gas that they have in the pumps. Look at this.
It's running.
Sounds nice.
And it sounds good. You hear that?
What do you guys think?
Fucking hit it, brother.
Yo, the people are speechless, bro. They are speechless. You understand what I'm saying? And there's another part to it. Listen.
Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir. And guys, this is the first modern diesel engine I've ever run off of my fuel. So you guys were here. First ever, right here. It works.
That's crazy stuff.
We did it. Eugene, Oregon, right here, baby. Yes, sir.
That smells cleaner.
Hey, come back here. They say it smells cleaner. The exhaust smells cleaner. Hey, just like the science paper said.
Electric cars.
So that last part is important. The exhaust that's coming from the car smells cleaner. That is a very important aspect of this fuel because of the damage that fuel does to the environment, especially our air. You understand? Man, this is all the way around solid, bro. I'm gonna continue to promote this brother. He don't need me to, but man, y'all go check him out, man. Nature Jab, man. Spread awareness. Nature Jab. Pray for this man. Alright? Pray that God protect him and guide his path. And whatever God wants this to be, plastic fuel. And somebody, my brother, class prefect, he sent me something that a Jamaican teacher did with some students. They was doing the same thing with the plastic fuel, but they did not get to the point where they had this sophisticated machinery like this guy that had a finished end product. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to that Jamaican brother, and it was years ago too, and those young men. So I believe if we could acquire this man's services here in Jamaica, I believe that their minds, the engineering and the scientific minds are already out here that can just absorb all that he has to offer. And you know what I'm saying, that with the government really making this a priority so we can have, remember, we don't have oil coming out our ground, so we got to do things that is going to save us as much money as possible where energy is concerned. And I think that this is an investment that needs to be studied, and not for too long, and needs to be implemented expeditiously. You feel me? This man has scientific proof that his fuel does what he's demonstrating that it does. All right, the proof is in the pudding. It's time to go, man. We are behind time on so many levels. So, yeah, I believe that we just need to get it done, baby. Just need to get it done. Need to acquire this man's services. It don't make no sense. You feel me? That we shouldn't. I'm gonna end it off right there. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow, Dr. Dawes has a conference. I will be going live about that. Thank you so much for coming through. I know I was late. And I have a couple videos that I'm sure you guys have missed, and I would love for you to go ahead and go check out the last two videos that I uploaded. Please, ladies and gentlemen, go and check out the last two videos I uploaded. Steve McGregor and Mark Golden has the PM trembling in fear. Peter Bunting just dropped a bombshell about the $31 million drill. Please, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and watch both those videos for me. Thank you. See you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. And I'm going to go out like this, baby. And please, guys, hit the like button before you exit here if you haven't already. Have a splendid afternoon, Lassum. The word is two people when I call me. People, me telling us if you call me straight. Me never telling us if you call me pan regular. But what could have caused all of this, Father God? Me tell the people to call me WhatsApp call only. Look on the screen. I keep telling you guys. It says it on the screen. So 2 people when I try to call me. Well, I'm tell you, yeah, man. Hold on there. Let me hear what them say. Say me can't lick them, yeah, man. This is a joke thing. Let me try to find the first body. No, sir. It's not safe. It's not safe at all. It's not safe at all. It's not safe at all, boy. Twinkle said, good day, everyone in the chat. Sislin said, good afternoon, teacher, blessings, respect about y'all. First time seeing you, Sislin. I don't know about Twinkles, but I think I've seen Twinkles before. Welcome to the platform. If you guys want to call in, I'm available. You know, I just don't have anything else to talk about right now. But if you guys want to, you know, chime in on anything that is happening, that's quite fine. I'm calling this person one more time. This person called me. I got the missed call. So I'm trying to reach out back. Somebody else called me. See if we can get that person too. 2 person call me. You can't say when I call them back, you know. Alive? Alright, we're gonna get that person there. Moving on to the next person who call me. Call the election, no. Call it. Oh. We've had enough. Call the election, no. Time come. Yeah, like I said before, guys, disclaimer. The videos that I played where it has to do with detox, I'm not co-signing anything. I'm doing my own personal experimentation. You know, you guys go and do your own research on that. Alright. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you called the program earlier?
I called your program.
Yes, the 4516535.
And this program is whose program?
Bolo VNR.
Oh, Andre, me that look for. Sorry, man.
Okay, alright. Cool.
Me that check for Andre.
Alright. You have Andre number?
I do a good work, you know. Me appreciate when I go on with you know.
Yeah, man. I'm live right now, you know.
Yeah, man.
I'm
live?
Yeah, I'm live right now. That's why I said you're calling to the program, so we're live. Yes.
Okay, I was just checking for Andre.
You want him number?
No, man, I get you to him.
Okay, alright, wonderful. Alright.
Yeah, man, cool.
Yeah, man. Listen. Alright. Alright, guys. See you guys later. I'm out. Peace. Big up Sislin. Oh, Star Girl. Never see you, babes. Big up Star Girl in the building. What's up, Star Girl? Oh, big up Star Girl. Star Girl means you have in a blue in a car. You look at name just, you know, you can't skip through the something. You know what I mean? Star Girl, if you put up a pretty picture, you know, yeah, man, put up a nice clean picture on your profile, man. Alright? People them all afraid to put up them picture. Boy, I tell you. Sure. Because of this corrupt government. Anyway, let me go on because I stop on one extension right now. Sooner or later, yeah, people, I might go live again, you never know. Let me see what I go on in nice space.